Hi everyone, N.A.T here, and today we will quickly go over my favorite Ableton Live shortcuts, and that's why I have this camera set up here so you can see my keyboard and the keys I press. Okay, so let's just go ahead. The first key, most important key in Ableton, in my opinion, is this one. It's the top key, and what this does, as you can see, it switches between session view and arrangement view, and this is the quintessential key in Ableton. It's the first one I learned when I did my first course on Ableton Live back in the day. So yeah, it's the one you're going to use all the time to switch between views, okay? And it's super helpful. Let's move on to how to hide these views here, the browser and this view underneath here. Okay, so I do this by pressing Command Option B or Command Option L, okay? And this is a super quick way to hide the browser or hide this section here underneath and get more space, as I said before, when I need more space. Especially useful when you have a smaller screen. Then another very useful shortcut is this one, Shift plus question mark. What this does, as we can see, is this opens or hides this help bar, which is super useful for knowing, for example, what something does. For example, here, if I hover my mouse over this control, it tells me what this control is doing, as you can see. So this is super useful, and I use it all the time when I forget about something. Then there's this one I liked a lot back in the day, but then I simplified it, and it's Option Shift F. And what this does, it toggles this follow function. Okay, basically when you're playing your song, this follows the playback. And if you toggle it off, it won't follow anymore. But as I said, I simplified it to only one key. I mapped it to this E key here. So it does the same thing, but just by pressing this button here, as you can see. Great. Then another one which is very useful, if we go on the master and let's say we're mastering the song and we're opening up all these plugins, okay, at the same time, this and maybe also Visu, okay. So we have this mess of plugins, and here's where this shortcuts comes really handy, and it's this one, Command Option P. And what this does, as you can see, this hides all of them at once and brings them back when you need them, basically. When you need to see what's underneath them. Okay, and when you need to bring them up. Okay, then when you need to add more instruments to your track, very simply, you can press Command T. Okay, so Command T to add a audio channel. Let's add one with Command T. Okay, just added one. Or Command Shift T to add a MIDI channel. As you can see, just added one. Let's add another one. Okay. Then let's say you're editing a clip MIDI. For example, you select a clip MIDI here. Okay. And you work on it, but then you want to work on the sound again, okay? You can either switch with the mouse from the clip view to the device view, or you can do this in your keyboard, Shift and Tab, okay? Shift and Tab. And this quickly switches between device view and the clip view, even though in Ableton 12 now we have the amazing, this amazing possibility that we can open both views one on top of the other, and I love that. And also, let's say you're working in arrangement view on a clip, you can also open the mixer. And now, yeah, let's close that. Yeah, so you can also mix, edit the MIDI, edit the device and the arrangement all in one view, which is amazing. Then let's say we added these MIDI channels here, this MIDI channel here, and we want to record something with this instrument, for example. First thing, we need to arm it for recording, meaning we need to make this button turn on. And you do this by pressing this key here. You need first to select the track with your mouse, like this. And once it's selected, you can press this C button. And as you can see, the track will be armed for recording, meaning that when you press record, when you press this button here, F9 to record, you will record in this track that you've selected, basically. As you can hear now, I am playing in this track, okay? My MIDI keyboard is sending notes to this track I armed. Then, as I said, you can switch this record button here with the key F9, okay? F9, the function 9 key. And also note that if you right click on your mouse, I actually deselected this option here. So as you can see, I want to avoid this. I don't want that when I press the F9 key, it starts to record right away. I want it to start recording when I press the space bar to play, you know, the song. I want the recording to start when the playback starts, when I press space. So let's deactivate that again, and now it's deactivated, and I prefer it that way. So as I said, now without having to search for this X cross, even though you can also press ESC, you can also press ESC to escape the device view, to close it down, as you can see. You have to have it selected though. Okay. So now I can record, select this section, press F9, and just record. All right. Another cool one, let's say if you recorded something here, for example, let's record something really quick. In order to do that, I just pressed enter here on a clip. I selected the clip by left clicking with the mouse and then just pressed enter and enter again. As you can see, let's do this again so you can see it here. Enter, sorry, enter, and enter again. Okay, but now this track isn't playing from the arrangement, it's playing from the session view. So in order to have all your tracks playing, all the tracks that are playing in the session view play from the arrangement view instead, I just press this button here, F10. So let's do this, and it will make sure that every track that is on the arrangement is playing from the arrangement. Then another cool shortcut I like to use for recording is this one. Basically, if you select a part of the, you can select basically a part from the arrangement, and if you press this, Command plus spacebar, instead of pressing play, you press Command plus spacebar. This happens, as you can see. Let's select a shorter part. Oops. I was wrong, sorry. If you press Option plus spacebar, this happens. Sorry, you have to select the part, okay? Okay, so the playback stops. Basically, the song plays only in that selected part, which is very useful when you want to record a part that's this exact length. So let's do this. Let's engage the record with the F9 button, and let's use Option and spacebar. Check this out. Okay, so now I created this clip, which is the exact length I wanted, which is very useful, sorry, when you need to, for example, record vocals for just the chorus or just a part. This is super useful. Then I use this a lot when recording in session view, for example, when resampling something. Now I have a lot of tracks, but here I have my resampling channel, which I use to resample sounds from my own song when I need to remanipulate those sounds into something else. And yeah, basically what I do is I use Command 9 or Command 8, and what this does, it basically changes the quantization settings for the project. Okay, as you can see now, it's quantized to 1 bar, which means that this clip will be of 1 bar when I record it. Let's try this. It means that it will be quantized to 1 bar, meaning that every time I press, I will have to wait 1 bar to either start or stop recording, okay? And if I want it to be shorter, for example, let's say I want to record a kick drum. Let's make this simpler for you. Command G is also very... Let's say I want to record a kick drum, okay? And by the way, let me show you another shortcut very quickly. So we can have multiple selections like this by using the Shift key. So using the Shift key, this one, I can select all these tracks at once, okay? And with this shortcut here, Command G, you can create a group with all these tracks. So let's do this right now, and ta-da, we created this group. Okay. Now let's go in the drums, and for example, let's solo this kick. Let's say I like this kick. Let's solo it. Okay, and let's say I want to record it, but if I recorded it, resampled it with the quantization settings set to 1 bar, this is what will happen. So I can't record just 1 kick. It will record 4 kicks, okay? But I want just 1 kick. So what I do, as I showed you, I press Command 8, okay? Until I get to the quantization settings. Actually, no, sorry. Basically, these are set. Command 9 is for setting the quantization to 1 bar, and Command 8 is for setting it to a quarter note. So I press again, as you can see, Command 8, and check this out. This switches the quantization settings to 1 quarter note, which is more useful for recording kicks. Let's try this now, but the only drawback is that you have to be quick to press enter. So let's do this. And there we go. As you can see, I have 1 quarter note, which is just 1 kick sample, which is very useful, especially for sound design sessions. Then another very easy and simple shortcut is undo and redo, which is very useful when you're doing stuff in Ableton in general. Let's say I want to undo this recording. All I have to do is press Command Z. Okay, check this out. Okay, undone. And then if I want to go back and redo the thing that I just undid, all I have to do is to press Command Shift Z, and it will bring back that last action. So Command Z to undo and Command Shift Z to redo. Another shortcut, I think it's worth mentioning, but I don't really use it for my workflow. It doesn't really work very well, but for some people might be very useful, and it's this. It's Command F. What this does is it toggles the search bar, and it's basically a super quick way to find either an instrument or an effect, okay, and drop it immediately if you have already a track selected. Let's say Command F and I want operator. Well, you have to be in the right place, I guess. Okay, operator. or Command F OTT, and you just press, it's not working right now for some reason the way I want it, and you just press enter, and the device it's dropped in your track immediately. Just one thing worth noting, even though I don't really use it. Then another one which is super important for me is saving the project. Okay, even though now I bought it's called a UPS. It's basically a battery. Let me show that to you quickly. So here it is. Ta-da! It's a UPS. It's a battery. Can you hear me? Yes, it's a battery that basically saves me when there's a blackout. It gives power to my computer, so I don't lose my projects. But I still find it very useful to save, to know when to save and how to save my project quickly. And the way you do this is Command S in Ableton, okay? Or if I'm working on a new session the next day, usually I save each day as a new project with the day's date, okay? And the way I do this is I press Command Shift S, and this opens this window, which is called Save As, okay? And I just save it, okay? And I just save it with a new name. As you can see, I did this here. I have the dates, different versions with the date. Another one I really like is when I'm playing back when I'm listening back to my song, basically, and let's say I'm placing my marker here and I press play. Oh, sorry. Okay, and then I press again, and then I want to restart from here, but if I press spacebar, it restarts from where my marker is. Okay, so in order to have it restart from here instead, all you have to do is press Shift and space, and it will do that trick. As you can see. Which is very cool. Also, another cool one for playing back clips, it's this one. Basically, let's say I'm listening to a reference track, which is in this case my track Focus, and I press play like this on my reference track and then I want to switch to the next song. Okay, now it's the same song, but it's just for an example. Okay, from here to here. As you can hear, it's all quantized, meaning it will wait for the end of the bar to play the next clip. But if I don't want that for some reason, and sometimes I don't want that, I simply have to do this to have this quantized setting be set to none. And as you can see, it's Command 0, okay? So I simply press Command 0, as you can see, okay? Let's go back to a quarter note. Now I will press Command 0, and you can see that it toggles no quantization. So basically, I can freely now play these clips without any quantization. Which is sweet. Then another cool one is being able to reverse quickly a clip, for example, like this, okay? Oops, it's taking a while because the sample is very long. And as you can see, it reversed it. Will take a while to process it. Okay, I reversed it. The way I do this is basically just pressing R. So this is very easy. Then another one I use a lot is when I'm in this view here, sometimes I want this section to disappear, okay, like this. In order to have more space, let's say I'm playing around with clips, okay, and I need more space to see them better. And you do this by pressing Command Option I, okay, and this shows the I/O section basically. Then let's say you're in the arrangement view, you hide this and hide this as well, and you want to see the whole arrangement very quickly. You can do this by pressing the W button. Check this out. Ta-da! Okay, and also sometimes I like to do this. I like to use the U key to either enlarge or reduce the view on one single track like this. You have to have it selected, okay? Or if you press something like, yeah, so Option U, you will enlarge the whole, every track basically in your project, which is very useful when you need to reduce all of them, okay? And there's also this button here, H, which basically expands the track to this degree, basically. Okay, yeah. And also another cool one is, well, when you're pressing Command while scrolling with your mouse, you're doing this basically, which is very useful. Yeah. This is Option and scroll, and this is Command and scroll. And there was another one which I don't remember right now. Okay. And another cool one, when you want to zoom in into one specific section very quickly, all you have to do, for example, on this part, all you have to do is select it and then press Z, and it will enlarge that part. Zoom in to that part very quickly. And if you press Z again, it will also open it like this. Open or close it. And if you want to go back to your previous view, all you have to do is press X. Okay. I'm mumbling a lot because this was more difficult than I expected to explain. Now let's take a look at these devices. Okay. What I like to do when I need to quickly close and open them is I select one and I press plus or minus, and this just opens it and closes it. And I can also use the arrows to navigate between one device and the other, as you can see. Okay, and close them if I need to. And also I can use the 0 button to disengage that selected device if I want to, like this. And then of course by pressing the delete button, I can delete the device if I want to. Now let's go back with Command Z and bring that device back. Okay. Then another one I use a lot is Command K to open keyboard mapping. So this one, Command K for keyboard mapping, or Command M for MIDI mapping, as you can see. Okay, so what this does basically, Command M, which toggles MIDI mapping, basically allows me to do this. Check this out. Let's say I want to use my thing here. Okay, I press Command M. Okay, select the parameter I want to control, like this. Okay, now it's selected. And then I go here and I move a parameter, and now it's toggled, and I can move it like this, as you can see, which is very cool. Or let's say I am trying out some effects on my track and I want to toggle them on or off, okay, with one keyboard mapping. So again, I use my keyboard. I use this shortcut, Command key, to toggle keyboard mapping. Okay, and I select, for example, this on and off switch, and I press the key I want to map it to, like this. And as you can see now, it's linked to that key. I press Command K again, and now I can use that key whenever I am in the track to toggle this thing on or off. Then another very, very cool thing you can learn is that the first 8 tracks in Ableton, for example, here, okay, let's say we put the synths group here. Okay, so the first 8 tracks of your project are usually already mapped to these keys here. F1, F2, F3, F4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you can toggle these channels on or off just by pressing those keys, which is very useful. And it's the reason why I like to have my drum rack in the first channel, because I can do this. So let's say I'm here and I'm listening to this part of the track. And I want to mute the drums, and I can simply do this by using F1, and as you can see, it will turn off that drum track. So I can just listen to the synths. And I also have all the sidechains mapped to this key in the track, so I can also quickly listen to the track without sidechain and without drums. Or with drums and sidechain. Which is very cool. And also, as you can hear now, I have these, when I stop the playback, I have these reverbs and delays that persist and kind of annoy me. Okay, and so I solved this problem by mapping, basically, as you can see, all these reverbs and delays, as well as the devices here, for example, like this, okay, to this A key. So whenever I press when I stop the playback, I can use this key to turn them all off like this. Let's see that again. Great, isn't that great? And that's about it. Let's see a couple last keyboard mappings I have that I personally created for myself in my own workflow. So I have the mastering chain mapped to a key, so I can listen immediately to the mastering chain on and off. This is the mastering chain, okay? As you can see here. And I have this key toggle that toggles the mastering chain on or off. So we can quickly listen to the song with or without mastering. Great. And again, the reverbs and delays, as I showed you here, they are here. This is mastering, reverbs and delays, and this is sidechain on or off, as you can hear now. Great. Then I also have a low pass switch here. Let's listen to that. So I can listen to only the lower frequencies in my track at any moment to check for the low end. This is a low pass and a limiter on the master. Low pass for low passing, of course, the sound, and limiter for avoiding clipping, because when you low pass the master, you will have a little bit of clipping if the song is limited to 0 dB. Then another one I have, which is really cool, is very simply a loop key I created. Let's say I want to loop this. You will have to do this and manually click here in Ableton. But now, no more. Or actually, yes. So I just press L. Wait, Command L actually. Command L to create the loop. And then to engage the loop on or off, I use L like this, as you can see, which is very useful. And I also have this mapping here. Let's say we want to, let's say we're writing melodies, for example, like this, okay. I use B to toggle the pen tool on or off, okay. And then let's say I want to hear that note when I draw it or when I touch it. And very simply, I mapped the N key to this preview here. So, ta-da. Sorry, it's very quiet for you, but I hope you get the idea. And last one, oh my god, this video was so long. The metronome I mapped it to this key here. So whenever I want, I can toggle it on or off. Now it's not mapped in this project. We can do this very quickly. Or am I pressing the wrong key? I don't know. Especially useful when recording, when you need the metronome on or off and toggle it on and off quickly, because now you want to work on the track and you don't need the metronome anymore. Okay, oh my god, that was it. I had this idea of doing a quick video on shortcuts, but apparently after years of making music, I've learned so many of them that now they are just muscle memory, but yeah, they're actually a lot and very useful. So if you have any questions, let me know, write a comment, and thank you so much for watching and see you next time.